Hi guys, it's Mandy from Mandyleeplays, and in this video I'm going to show you my top 10 games for 2021. Now 2021 was a very good year in gaming and I've played a ton of games, but I have narrowed it down to just the 10 that I really like and that are my favorite. This is by no means in order, so I'm just going to pick a game and it's my list, so obviously it's gonna have the games that I like, but if you see a game that you really like that I didn't mention, please tell me in the comments down below. I would appreciate that, and we could just, talk about 2021 as gaming and stuff. Now, these games may have not come out in 2021, but I played them and finished them in 2021. So with all that being said, let's get into the video. Alright, first game, No More Heroes 3. I put this on the list because it's a very wacky game. It's a good hack and slash. And I played No More Heroes 1 and 2, but I like the third the best. It just had a very good overall story. You follow Travis as he beats aliens on Earth and stuff. It's really cool. And you got that fourth wall breaking thingy that's pretty funny. And I just overall enjoyed the game and playing it with you guys. If you want to check out that live stream, I'll put it in the top, you know where to find it. But any game that I mentioned that I have content for, I'll put it in the top card or in the link down below so you guys could watch it and stuff. It's a very good game and I highly recommend. Alright, next game we have Skyward Sword. Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD HD version. Now, funny thing about this game, it was my favorite game of all time. But with the release of this game to the Switch, I got to play it again, and I kind of saw the flaws in it, but it's still a really good game, and I still highly recommend, even though it's not my top favorite Zelda game anymore, that goes to Breath of the Wild, it is still a very solid Zelda game. Now, it's a little bit more linear than Breath of the Wild, but I just love it. The story is one of the best in the series, I think. But the thing that a lot of people didn't like, which was the motion controls that were on the Wii, are now button controls for the Switch. Even though I did still play it with motion controls. I'm gonna die! It still gives you an option, and that's what everybody has been, complaining about. So I highly recommend you pick this game up if you haven't. It is really good. And yeah, you could see all my shenanigans in my live stream. Alright, next we have Monster Hunter Rise. Now this is the game I picked because it's one of my favorites, both single player and multiplayer. Now it's Monster Hunter, so of course you're a hunter who hunts monsters, and it's very good. It's a little bit kind of jarring for new people, but once you get past that, I feel like a lot of people love it, and especially the whole multiplayer aspect.
Need help?
Welcome!
And the amount of game time that you get from this game is insane, and I highly recommend it. And the next game we have is The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. It's a, detective point and click kind of style game, but the characters, they stand out a lot. The animation is pretty good, and it keeps you hooked for like the whole duration of the game. Now, something that I love from this game that's different from the other Ace Attorney games, it's its setting. It's set in like post-industrial kind of Britain. So a lot of things are just beginning to be invented. There is not really forensics because it wasn't a thing yet at the time, so you had to solve cases without footprints or fingerprints. So it's pretty cool how they kind of maneuvered a murder mystery without all the tech and stuff. And there's also Sherlock Holmes, which is basically Sherlock Holmes. The characters are very exaggerated for a reason to, spice things up. But some of it is just like hilarious. That's not even allowed in court. Love this game, 10 out of 10. Would recommend. And our last Switch game is Metroid Dread. This is a recent game and I love it, and I put it on my list is because I haven't played a Metroid game. So you know, playing a Metroid game and experiencing what everybody fangirls about is very nice, and I actually really love it. The gameplay was nice and solid and smooth. The 2D Metroidvania style, I just love too. And also, it reminded me somewhat of Hollow Knight, which is one of my favorite games of all time. And that's, you know, because of the Metroidvania style. And even though it was kind of difficult, it wasn't as difficult as like, man, I'm never gonna beat this. Now I know why a lot of people love this franchise, and I just hope that Nintendo keeps it up with the Metroid stuff, because the sales don't lie and this game sold really good. And it's just an overall good game. Now onto my PlayStation 5/4 games. And the first one we have is Tales of Arise. Now this is my first Tales game. There's a lot of firsts on this list. But yeah, this is my first Tales kind of game, and I just loved it. The graphics looked beautiful. Like, holy cow, that thing was a beast. And the characters were really nice. The world building is my favorite part. I love the whole lore behind this world. The gameplay is just awesome. It has that like quick turn JRPG thing going on, and there's just a lot to love about this game. The only kind of downside is the story was pretty generic, but it was still sweet nonetheless, and I just loved it. And the next game we have is Mass Effect Legendary Edition. Now, this is my first, there's a lot of firsts in this game, in this list, but yeah. I started the Mass Effect, you know, hype train with Mass Effect 1, and that one is actually the one that is on my list. Now, a lot of people like Mass Effect 2, and I like Mass Effect 2, but still, I feel like Mass Effect 1 is my favorite, both gameplay-wise and story-wise. I just feel like the characters were more unique and small, where I could actually talk to everybody before going off to another mission. While Mass Effect 2, I felt like they wanted to do a lot and put a lot of characters. And while it did have its, you know, unique moments that I was like, oh my god, Mass Effect 1 is still my favorite. Now, I can't say anything about 3 because I'm in the process of playing it, but Mass Effect 1 was just amazing. It was a nice first experience into the series that everybody loves. And it's actually one of the games not in my comfort zone because it's a shooter. And if you know anything about me, you know that I suck at shooting. But just give me the sniper and I'm good in this game. Like, literally, I went through Mass Effect 1 and 2 with my sniper. It's my favorite. And I'm always a soldier. So just hand me a sniper and I'm good. Can't wait to finish the third game this year and kind of wrap up the whole trilogy. And yeah. Alright, let's get on to the next one, and that is Yakuza 0. And again, it's my first time with the Yakuza series. That's like kind of a trend this year. It's my year of trying stuff, so there's a lot of firsts. But yeah, this is one of the games that I did not expect to like, but surprise, surprise, I really love. Now, this was recommended to me by a friend, and I was like, eh. And then he was like, yeah, I know you'll like it. And I actually got it as a present from one of my subscribers, Peter. So thank you, Peter. Appreciate it. And yeah, your money was worth something because I really love this game and I really enjoyed it. Now, this game in particular is kind of the prequel to the whole series, and now I'm hooked on the whole series, which, yay, there's like 8 of them. But yeah, this is Yakuza 0, so it's a prequel, and it's set in 1988 Japan, which saw a boom in a lot of money. That's why you're like throwing money everywhere and stuff. And it just has awesome gameplay. It's a beat 'em up type of game. And the story, chef's kiss. I don't know why, but this game is really good at balancing a crazy story and also being serious when it needs to be serious. Because some of the side quests and quests itself are very silly, but when it hits you and when you know it's serious, it really is serious, and I just love it for that. It has a good balance between being funny and being serious when it needs to be. So I highly recommend this game if you haven't tried it, like me, if you're hesitant, because like oh man, it doesn't look like I'll like it. Looks are deceiving. And it has one of the most coolest side content. I usually don't go like side contents and stuff. I like to go through the main story first. But this one had one of the best. It kept me going for more back to back to back. And I just loved it. So, highly recommend this game. Alright, so next game is a bit kind of depressing, and that is Nier Replicant. Now this is a game by Yoko Taro, and if you're new, Yoko Taro's games are basically really philosophical and really kind of sad, basically. And if you play Nier Automata, you should play Nier Replicant. It is kind of like the prequel to Nier Automata in a sense, and it just hits you with all the feels, but it's a really good game. It makes you think, and I love me some meta games because we have a lot of games that are just used for playing and stuff, which is fine, but this one actually uses its medium as a game to its advantage to tell its story, and the story is very impactful and will leave you kind of in a puddle of tears after. It's so good. But it's so sad, but it's so good. This will give you context to a lot of the stuff that happens in Nier Automata. Like, I played this game and I was like, oh, that's why. Oh, like, there was a lot of revelations in this game. Alright, and the last game we have is 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim. Now, this is getting a Switch port in 2022, so that's cool. But I played it already, and it's actually a game that I platinumed, so I have 2 platinums now. Now, this game is really hard to describe, but basically, it's one of those sci-fi games that you focus on like 13 characters, but each of their paths branch, and they kind of start to intertwine, where as you go on, you know, it gets pretty crazy, especially with all the characters. So the gameplay is more of a real-time strategy game where your characters go in a mech and you just cause chaos, basically. So yeah, it's a really good game. 10 out of 10. Would recommend. So that is it for my top 10 games of 2021. Yeah, it was a lot, and this year was crazy in gaming. Anyways, with all that being said, hope you guys liked the video. If you did, hit that like button, and if you like my channel and would love to see more, hit that subscribe button and ring that bell to get notified. I would appreciate it. Again, tell me your favorite games of the year in the comments down below. I would love to hear it. You can follow me on Twitter at Mandyleeplays. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and as always, play a good game. Peace, peace.